How it began. The 30 Years' War is what gave way to the Franco Spanish War. The Franco Spanish War officially began in 1635 when the French decided to intervene in the ongoing battle between Sweden and Spain. The war ended in 1659 after the signing of the Treaty of the Pyrenees. Who was involved? Not only were Spain and France involved, but so were other countries such as Italian territories, Ireland, Scotland, England, Sweden, etc.
The main reason why the Franco-Spanish War began was a military conflict between Spain and France over the hegemony in Europe. France began to feel the heat of the siege of Habsburg, considering France was practically surrounded by Habsburg territory.
A main objective of French policies was to weaken the Habsburgs' rule, and to do this, the French joined the fight and fought alongside the Swedish against Spain. The French won the Battle of Les Avens and advanced on Spanish territory. Shortly after this loss, the Spanish regained their momentum and launched successful lightning attacks into northern France. The Spanish threatened to attack France, specifically Paris, but were unable to because of financial strains. Following this retreat, the French pushed the Spaniards back to the northern border and entered Alsace and Lorraine.
Wars within a war. During the Franco-Spanish War, many struggles took place. Starting in 1640, Portugal began its fight for its independence from Spain, also known as the Portuguese War of Restoration. Catalonia declared itself a republic after a revolt in 1640, when French forces and allies entered into Catalonia. From 1647 to 1648, there was a revolt against the Spanish rule over the Kingdom of Naples. It was supported by the French, but later put to rest by the Spaniards.
The turning point. The French victory at the Battle of Rocroi is considered to be the turning point of the Franco-Spanish War because of the French victory over the Army of Flanders. This defeat was of great symbolic importance because of the high reputation of the Army of Flanders, whose support lied with the Spanish. Another French victory in the Battle of Lens in the north of France began to stress the Spaniards. In 1648, the Peace of Westphalia ended the 30 Years' War and the 80 Years' War, but did nothing for the ongoing conflict between France and Spain. Although these two lengthy wars had come to an end, the Peace of Westphalia did nothing to ensure the peace between Spain and France. In 1648 to 1652, France reduced the commitment in the war due to internal revolts, and Spain concentrated on claiming Catalonia, which they were successful in doing. In October 1652, the remaining French troops had surrendered in Barcelona. In 1655, the Commonwealth of England enters the war for economic reasons. On June 14th of 1658, the Battle of Dunes resulted in an Anglo-French victory over Spain and the English royalists. The English came to later occupy Dunkirk, France, after France's victory in the Battle of Dunes. On November 5th, 1659, the Treaty of the Pyrenees was signed and ended the Franco-Spanish War. The reason why the Pyrenees Mountains became the official border between France and Spain is because this mountain range forms a natural border between the two nations.
The Treaty of the Pyrenees was signed on Pheasant Island, in between France and Spain, making it a condominium, changing its loyalties every 6 months. The French king, Louis XVI, married Maria Theresa, the daughter of the King of Spain, Philip IV, ending the long-standing hostilities between France and Spain. The current relationship between France and Spain is well balanced. They are economically beneficial to one another. France is Spain's leading economic partner with annual trade of more than 60 billion euros. France is the third largest investor in Spain, with more than 2,000 subsidiaries employing over 300,000 people. Spanish companies are working in more than 1,300 locations in France and employ more than 55,000 people. There is a major French cultural network in Spain, with 6 Institut Francais branches in Barcelona, Bilbao, Madrid, Zaragoza, Seville, and Valencia, and 20 Alliances Francaise branches. The French school network in Spain is the largest in Europe and third largest globally. Nearly 2 million French people are learning Spanish, and 1.3 million Spanish people are learning French. France is the second most popular destination for Spanish students in mobility programs. In 2008, an agreement was signed to launch a course allowing students to earn their French and Spanish bachelors at the same time. Scientific and technical cooperation in France and Spain is based on agreements between the major French research and development institutions and their Spanish counterparts. Considering France and Spain's strained relationship in the past, it is difficult to believe the allies they have become today by overcoming countless hardships. Nevertheless, the two nations have prospered and learned to grow alongside one another.
Even though this war weakened both sides, in the end, it strengthened their bond and allowed for cultural and economic growth separately and together. Now, Spain and France are two of the most traveled areas in the world, and they benefit greatly from one another. The story of these two nations will continue to be a happy and prosperous one for many and many years to come.